After following the developments of the tumultuous James Harden drama over at Philly in the last several weeks, the Beard finally got his wish as he got traded to the Clippers just like he always wanted. Now obviously, the biggest winner in the blockbuster deal is Harden himself. But if we're going to analyze this trade further, the real winner here is none other than Tyrese Maxey. With Harden out of the equation, Maxey is going to be the second guy in the pecking order behind Joel Embiid. And the fact that he closed out last season on a high note only suggests that things are about to ramp up for this 22-year-old rising phenom. I mean, in his first 3 games this season, Maxey just went off as expected as he averaged 30.3 points a ball game, along with 6.3 assists. 6.7 rebounds while shooting 50% from the field, 56% from 3, and 91.3% at the foul line. These are all-star numbers whichever way you look at it. And in this video, I want to specifically talk about his evolving game further and how he can propel himself to being a bona fide all-star for the first time in his young career. Now, the reason why I believe Maxey will have an all-star campaign this season is simply because that's what his career trajectory is suggesting all along. The 21st overall pick of the 2020 draft only averaged 8 points while logging just 15 minutes per ball game as a rookie. Then at year 2, Maxey's scoring numbers went up to 17.5 a ball game, and his three-point numbers also went up significantly while shooting 3 more attempts from downtown. And last season, he posted career high in points, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage. As a 22-year-old, his 20.3-point output last season was no easy feat by all means. Because if you take a look at the history of the 76ers franchise, there were only 4 other players who averaged over 20 points a ball game at 22 or younger, and these were Charles Barkley, Jerry Stackhouse, Allen Iverson, and most recently Joel Embiid. As you saw in the previous graphics, Maxey is quickly gaining steam year after year, especially in terms of his scoring production, and one of the areas in which he made a major improvement since he was a rookie is in his three-point shooting. From shooting just 30.1% from 3 in his rookie year, he finished with 42.7% in year 2, and last season he shot 43.4% from the three-point arc to make himself a legit scoring threat from inside and out. Well, speaking of which, his much improved three-point shooting is just one of the many weapons that he has in his offensive bag. And if we're going to take out each one of them, I would say that his blurring speed has been his biggest strength thus far as an offensive player. I mean, here's a play that clearly demonstrates how Maxey's speed kills. As he crosses the half court, Maxey just turns on his jets the moment the pick is set, and he was so blindingly fast that no white shirt was able to stop him in his tracks. If we're going to do simple math here, you can see that Maxey just took 2 seconds for him to destroy the Celtics defense coming off that pick. He also uses his blinding speed in pick-and-roll situations, and I think this is one offensive area that he'll definitely thrive at this season. Maxey receives the handoff, and just look at how he shakes. Derek White here, who's an elite defender by the way, by smartly using the screen set by Paul Reed. And even though Porzingis blitzes him, Maxey is able to escape the trap using his quickness, and he drove in the gut of the defense and laid it in. Now, if Maxey notices that the big man covering the paint is slow on his feet, he'll just continue to attack until the defense finally adjusts. You can see in this possession that Maxey wants Reed to set the pick so that Porzingis will be forced to contain him, which is kinda too much to ask since he's 7'3". Now check this out. After he saw that KP was briefly out of position, he quickly switched gears from 0 to 100. And even though there were help defenders, he just passed through them like checkpoints as he cruised inside the lane for an easy layup. Now, to make his attacking pattern less predictable, Maxey knows how to switch up based on what the defense gives him. Here's another pick-and-roll situation involving Maxey, and for the 3rd time in a row, Kristaps Porzingis. This time around, KP already knows that Maxey will attack, which is why he just settled on drop coverage so he can anticipate him near the rim. But as we've talked about earlier, Maxey is now a 43.2% three-point shooter. And after noticing that KP was already implanted down low, he didn't bother to go in, and instead, he just knocked down a step-in three coming off the pick. Maxey is a highly effective pick-and-roll ball handler as he ranks in the 83rd percentile in pick-and-roll situations, with 46.9% scoring frequency, as well as generating 1.01 points per possession. It's just so tough to guard a player like Maxey, since he can make you pay in multiple ways. And if you're the one guarding him, there's really no clear way how you're going to stop him. I mean, if you play too close, he'll just blow by you and attack the cup. And then if you play him loose, then he'll make you pay by drilling a 3 or a mid-range J. Anyway, his scoring is just one facet of his game that makes him an elite combo guard. And with Harden probably getting traded around early in the season, I think we'll be expecting Maxey to level up his playmaking, since he's most likely going to be Philly's primary ball handler. In a recent sit-down interview with Tobias Harris, he firmly believes that Maxey will take his game to new heights and become an all-star. Apart from this, he also said that we have to watch out for his playmaking. And I totally agree with this one, because last season, Maxey showed that he has the vision to find his teammates when they're wide open. Here's Maxey reversing the handoff, and even though he has a clear lane here to go up for his shot, Maxey stays patient and rewards the cutter with an on-point, no-look bounce pass for the finish. So here's another play highlighting Maxey's vision and unselfishness. The Sixers run a ball reversal here, and as soon as he receives the pass from Embiid, Maxey once again uses his quick first step to break down the defense. Once the help shows up, he shovels it to Reed, who then finishes it in reverse. In terms of drives, 77.7% of his total points came from this action, as well as 82.3% of his free throw attempts and 26.6% of his total passes. And this goes to show that he can either kill you directly by going all the way, or he can kick it out and dish it to someone else and make the other guys hurt you. Now, before we close out this video, I want to talk about his defense a bit and why this is going to be a huge thing for him moving forward. There's no question that Maxey can score the rock on all three levels, but I think he'll be a more complete player and be recognized as a true all-star if he would invest more effort in playing D. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't play defense and all that, but we gotta see him fighting it out tooth and nail on the defensive end on a nightly basis. Anyway, in the preseason, he showed a bit that he can become an elite defender with the way he pressures and anticipates the ball in defense, like in this play. When he saw Tatum backing down at the foul line, Maxey suddenly swooped in and poked the ball out of his hands, which led to a run out on the other end. In this last defensive sequence, you can see that Maxey is quite active in playing the passing lanes. This leads once again to an easy runout, and he just caps it off with a soft flush for good measure. In the aftermath of the Harden trade, the new-look Sixers will feature a starting five with Embiid and Covington manning the front court, Tobias Harris locking the small forward spot, while DeAnthony Melton and Tyrese Maxey run the backcourt. Now that Harden is out of the picture, Maxey is going to run the show for the 76ers as their ball handler. And as the team's primary point guard, we have seen in the last 3 games that is more than capable of doing Harden's previous job, with the way he's making the right decisions and making the right reads in pick-and-roll situations or whenever he's on attack mode. Though the 76ers are in no rush to sign Maxey to a new deal just yet, this is essentially a contract year for him, and with the way things are shaping up, it seems that Maxey is about to have an all-star season, which means that the 76ers can give him a big bag with lots of zeros in it. And if for some reason the 76ers don't play their cards right, then we might see him change jerseys and zip codes next offseason, because an all-star version of Tyrese Maxey is definitely worth having no matter how expensive his price tag is.